Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nathan Riva YouTube channel. Coming at you from beautiful British Columbia, Canada on this 22nd of August 2017, right on the heels of Donald Trump's big announcement about his new plans for the war in Afghanistan, this 15-year quagmire that the United States has been involved in since September 11th, 2001. Well, it comes as no surprise to most people if you have been following who Trump has been putting in his cabinet, who he's been surrounding himself with. This comes in as no surprise, as I would say it's more or less par for the course. It's another illustration of how bought and paid for these selections really are. And I don't mean to isolate Trump supporters or create a divide between people who supported Trump, people who didn't support Trump in the alternative community, but I think we can use this final, I don't know if maybe use the term death blow of the Trump administration as an illustration just how owned these both political parties are. And in my opinion, I do think Donald Trump has been the catalyst, or one of the catalysts, for the divide and rule theme that's been taking place over the last, you could say, 5 years, but these last 2 summers, it's been quite remarkable what's been taking place. It really has been ramped up to new levels, and I think Donald Trump has been the perfect candidate for this. I've said this in previous videos. 8 months ago, I did a video explaining what I thought to be the Trump psyop, and it really does go deep, because it's in my opinion, it's very Machiavellian, because you really have to lure the people that have taken steps away from the reservation, this plantation which the government keeps us on. There was a lot of people that were starting to take steps away from that, starting to come up with their own ideas how to govern themselves, thinking more libertarian. But as soon as Trump came on the scene and the rhetoric, because remember, that's all it was, it's rhetoric. You can prove this now by looking at all of his decisions. Nothing he said, nothing he actually said he's going to do. He's gone back on pretty much everything. Excuse me. But it is what it is. It's the exact same thing with Obama. It's the exact same thing with Bush Jr., the exact same thing with Bill Clinton. It doesn't matter. These people, these oligarchs that have positioned themselves on top of society, have bought and paid for almost every level of government. The Congress, the Senate, the Supreme Court, pretty much they have everybody under their thumb. And they do this by blackmail, with children, with prostitutes, you name it. This is a rule by the kakistocracy, or the most evil and corrupt people imaginable. It's a villain's wet dream, the society that these bankers have created. And I really think we can use this as an illustration. Let's get off this slave plantation, which is government. These oligarchs, these rich, powerful business interests, they use the political system as a tool of oppression. They always have and they always will. Changes different forms, from fascism to communism to social democracy. All these are just buzzwords. Doesn't matter. Government is a rule over people by a tyranny. There's no other way of looking at it. And if you can't see it that way, I do feel sorry for you. Maybe Trump was the one last hope that many people had. But again, I think we should use this as an illustration. He's not going to change anything. He has either been complicit this entire time, and as I think been the divide and rule candidate, the ideal martial law candidate, the ideal war candidate. That's the position that I take. But hey, maybe he's been co-opted along the way. But again, it just goes to show you cannot penetrate this system of absolute, total moral depravity and corruption. To me, unless you're one of them, and this is how he's been able to acquire the position he has, because he is owned, he is a slave, he has sold his soul. You don't get to these positions in this corrupt system without doing that. I refuse to believe it. Maybe somebody like Ron Paul. He's the only politician I've ever heard speak the truth. But you don't get to these high levels without being absolutely corrupt and blackmailable. The stakes are too high. These people have been at this game far too long. They're not going to let people waltz right in and just ruin their parade, ruin their party, ruin their agenda that they've been working towards for the last 100-odd years, which is total and absolute control over everybody through a financial system, through a cashless society, through different types of socialist style governments. This is all coming to fruition as we speak. Even if you're completely blind to it, you won't be for that much longer. You can see the rise of the radical left and how that's done the exact job, in my opinion, of what it was supposed to do, which is have that opposite reaction, which is create the resistance block to it, which is the alternative right, which, like any group, seems to be have been co-opted or steered in a more left-right ideological battle, which is total bullshit, you know. But again, let's use this Trump latest backtrack as an illustration to how this political system cannot save you, is not designed to save you, it will not save you. You can only save yourself from it by removing yourself from it and stopping participating in this game, these charades that these people run every 4 years. That's all I got to say on that. Nathan Riva signing off. Have a good one, guys.